Hello, welcome to Yin Yoga. Today, we're going to be really getting into the hips and preparing to get into frog pose, which is more first chakra-y, if you want to think about it from that perspective. The other reason we're working a lot on the hips today is because of the affirmations and theme, which is about money. A lot of people get really awkward and uncomfortable talking about money, but not being able to talk about money, not being able to get real with money is why a lot of people have money problems. So we're going to do money affirmations today for inspiration and maybe aspirations as well. And coming up with a positive relationship around money. And that goes right with that first chakra, the security chakra, the root chakra, the hips. So that's where we're going to go. That being said, with frog being in the peak pose, you may want a bolster or a cushion for support in that if you need it. You might want a couple or several blankets, pillows work as well. Just make sure that your knees and your body gets the proper support that it needs. Other than that, we don't need anything else. So let's get going. Coming to a nice tall seat, tucking the chin, growing a little bit taller from crown to tail. And we'll breathe and expand here. As you inhale through the nose, could you expand the rib cage? And slowly release. Do that again. And slowly release. Now for our pranayama today, we're going to do something we've done before, but it's been quite a while since we've done it. We're going to get into belly breath. So yes, talking about money makes people uncomfortable. So does talking about the belly, breathing into the belly. So we're going to get in there. So I'm going to instruct you to take one hand on your beautiful belly and one hand up on the chest. You can have eyes open, gaze passed down, or eyes closed, you choose. And just settle in here for a moment. And as you inhale through the nose, I want you to expand that belly out, like the belly is taking in that breath. And then as you exhale, that belly is going to come in like you're exhaling that breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Return to normal breath, fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 touching palms together. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Good. So the intention is money affirmations for inspiration, aspiration. We always have the choice and the power to come up with something else. Once we have that set, we'll inhale and reach. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale. Let's take that over into a nice side bend. Reaching here. So starting right into it. Money is my friend. Money is my friend. Say that to yourself, whether you believe that right now or not. Money is my friend. It does not have to be the root of all evil. So money is my friend. Inhale, exhale, engage. Bring that back to center, taking that over. Good. Money is my friend. And when we're ready, we'll engage. We'll come back up. Let's take the hands behind the head, relaxing the shoulders. Elbows can be anywhere here that's comfortable for you. And I'm just going to gently rotate to my left and then to my right, and to the left and to the right and to the left and to the right, to the left. And then from here, when you're ready, let's take that deeper reach, rotate to the left, bring those arms down, rolling shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you. Breathing and expanding. And when you're ready, we're going to lift, come through center, and taking that down. Rolling shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you. And we'll lift, and we'll come back. Get any little movement here that would feel good to you. I'm just doing a little bit of a spinal roll, and I'm going to take that in the other direction. So when I'm doing this spinal roll, my hips and my pelvis are also moving. Very first chakra. And then from here, let's just get into the shoulders real quick here, since we're going to be heavy on the hips today, just so that we get in there. So I'm just going to rotate here. Good. And palms turning up, hands to the shoulders, move forward and back. When you move your elbows forward, try that stretch, that separation of the shoulder blades back there. And then as you open, could you squeeze them together? But not so much that you kind of flop the body around like a fish out of water. You want those core muscles both in the front and the back side of the body to engage and support you. Good. Maybe some circles. Good. And other direction. Good. And then from here, just shake that out. We're going to prepare for some of this hip stuff a little bit differently than we normally do. So we're going to come right into some supine windshield wipers. So we're going to come right onto our back. I'm going to move this blanket out of the way here. And as you come down there, just take your feet as wide as your mat. If you're not practicing on a mat, take your feet a little bit wider than body width apart. Your arms can be anywhere. And then I'm just going to take those knees and hips from side to side. My belly button is still in here because the spine is going into some rotation and we want to protect that. Good. So money is my friend. I view money as an exchange of energy. I view money as an exchange of energy. So maybe from what I do, like from a donation-based practice right now from a standpoint, money is an exchange of energy for services rendered. I'm giving you something in exchange for something else. And then from here, when you're ready, good. I'm just going to bring the knees into the chest or to the shoulders. I'm just going to pull them in just a little bit here, finding just a little bit of length in that low spine. And while we're here, let's make the most of it. Let's go ahead and come into a figure four. Just cross the right ankle over the left knee. You can stay here. Some of you are going to bring this in and hold. Some of you are going to take it through. Find yours. So just a little bit of a stretch and an opening before a longer and deeper one that we're getting ready to do. And then when you're ready, we'll release. We'll switch sides. So now my left ankle is over my right knee. You can stay here, or you can bring it in here, or you can come through here. Coming through here, some people also call this eye of the needle. This isn't one that I used to do, but as my hips have actually become more open over time with practice, it's kind of my new favorite one now. You just have to take your time to get there. Ready? Good. We'll undo. One final little windshield wiper here. And then when you're ready, in the way that's best for your body, we're going to roll over to the side and then press yourself up to a seat. Now, you're welcome to bring in another blanket here if you want to sit on it. If you're really tight in the hips still, and some of you no doubt at least are, have some for a prop in case you need that. So we're going to go into log stack, and I'm going to start with my left leg on the bottom, the base here, and my right leg's going to come on top. Good. Now, I'm pretty good, at least on this side. I don't have any space under this knee. But if you do, because you've got a super tight hip, there's a couple things you can do. If you've got a pillow, blanket, towel, something like that, that you can put under there for support, highly recommend it. And you can kind of, manipulate that around as you need to for your needs. If you've done that and you're still not getting relief, you're like, I can't breathe well, this is just not going to happen. Take that front leg forward and just do a little crisscross applesauce here. You'll be fine. Okay. Again, we all have to start somewhere. So from our log stack, we're sitting up nice and tall. Good. We're going to be here for a couple minutes. And about halfway through, for those of you that want to, I will cue you to fold in. We're going to sit here. We're going to breathe. Good. I've noticed recently, I like to hold my toes a lot. I think that's because they get cold a lot. So, all right. So money is my friend. I view money as an exchange of energy. I am worthy of financial security and all that it brings to me. I am worthy of financial security and all that it brings to me. We all are worthy. So say that to yourself. And from here, for those of you that need to make a change or want to fold with me, arms come up, inhale, long spine, fold, fold, fold. Come right before your edge, then the arms will come down. And then your body will just sink in there on its own, so long as there's no pain, numbness, tingling, or burning. Expand the rib cage on the breath. Pondering these money affirmations. Good. And then from here, we're going to carefully come up from there. Good. Carefully undo your legs, especially if you were in full log stack. Just shake, shake, shake. And we're going to take that to the other side. So now, whatever leg you had on top is now going to be on the bottom. If you did a crisscross applesauce version, kind of like this, then put your other leg forward. That's how you will make the change. Bring this up. So my right leg is on the bottom. My left leg is on top now. So I'm pretty open today, so I don't need to fill this in, but you feel free to fill in as needed. And we'll do this for another couple minutes. So breathing. You can take an expansion of the rib cage here, and relaxing of the shoulders. Coming back to the affirmations. Money is my friend. I view money as an exchange of energy. I am worthy of financial security and all that it brings to me. It is safe and good for me to be debt-free. It is safe and good for me to be debt-free. And those of you that want to fold, big inhale, exhale, take that forward long spine and fold in. And then from here, we'll carefully come up. Good. Carefully release those legs. Shake, shake, shake that out. And we're going to come to dragonfly or a wide leg forward fold. So I'm going to bring my blanket back in here to sit on. Good. And this will be a 3-minute hold here. I'm going to take my legs out wide, but remember, you don't want to come out at your widest. You want to give your body and joints and tissue and everything to have some space to move. Toes, knees, and hips are going to face the ceiling. I'm still going to zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel, and we're going to fold forward. So if you need support, because you don't think you can go very far and make it for 3 minutes, have a bolster or something here to support you as you need it. You can also do that with folded blankets as well. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, lengthen as you fold, and then hands will come down. So I will eventually be sinking deeper into this pose as my body becomes more open, and I'm just going to let it do that. So I had a health coaching client one time asked me why I asked her about how her finances were going and stuff like that when she was there for nutrition. And I said, well, your finances affect your health. First and foremost, it costs money to buy food, much less nutritious food. But on top of that, if you're not in good financial health, what does that do? It causes anxiety, might cause depression, certainly causes stress. And over time, as that stress becomes more and more chronic, things become more serious, then your body starts to create inflammation because of that stress and the stress hormones in the body, which leads to other health issues. So being financially solvent, working on becoming financially solvent is very much a health issue because it affects your health. And breathe. So if you do find yourself in a lot of debt, you can always talk to a financial planner or advisor. There are ones that are personal that aren't always retirement based or stocks based that you can get advice from and start coming up with a plan to reduce some of those debts. You take the initiative, call your people that you owe money to, come up with payment plans that are going to be more feasible for your current situation, if possible. As I always say, what you put out, you get back. So if you just ignore things and don't deal with them, that doesn't help with coping skills, and it doesn't make you, take care of your business. So take care of your business, reduce that anxiety, and good things will come back to you. And then from here, when you're ready, carefully coming back up. Good. Now we're going to take that into a twist. So you are free to keep both legs more open. That's going to be a little bit more challenging. Or if you need a modification here, you can follow me and bring the right foot in. And then we're going to rotate and fold to the left side. Okay. And we will do that for 3 minutes as well. Okay. So big inhale and come up. We're going to rotate and reach and take that Now, if you can't quite reach here, maybe it's just the thigh, the knee, the shin, go where you can go. Breathe and expand. And so to kind of tag on to the debt conversation to what I just said, I know can be easier said than done, very daunting, especially if you've got large amounts of debt. But you know what? Avoiding that debt is not going to make it go away either. So as one of my teachers used to say, handle your shit and pay your bill. So find a way, ask for help. It's not a weakness. And breathe in to expand. So this one is mainly to open up this area right around in here of the back, which is often also involved in frog pose. So if we can work on that a little bit before we come into frog pose tends to be more pleasant and less over the top. As we're getting ready to come up onto the halfway point, I'm going to give you an option. So you can stay right here if this is enough for you. If you want to go a little bit deeper, a little bit of a deeper twist, if you feel ready for that, take your left arm on the inside of the leg or the foot. Your right hand's going to be on the outside. So just kind of reaching for that, the outside of the left foot with the right hand will give you a little bit more stretch. And if that's not enough, you can start to open up just a little bit here. So I'm not going to go too far just yet here. I'm just going to wait on my breath, wait on my body. Yeah. And then from here, good. From here, if you went into the deeper twist, come out of that first, and then carefully come back up. Good. So I'm more open over here. I hope you are too. Let's take it into the other direction. So I'm going to take my right leg out now. I'm going to stay with this modification and bring my left foot in. But again, remember, you can always be right here if that's where you are. And then from here, coming up nice and tall, we're going to rotate to the right and fold to the right. Good. Breathing and expanding. So money is my friend. I view money as an exchange of energy. It's safe and good for me to be debt-free. I am worthy of financial security and all that that brings to me. Money has a positive impact on my life. Money has a positive impact on my life. And kind of going back to debt again, a positive impact on your life that money can have is you have more freedom. It gives you a little bit more freedom, especially when you're not bogged down in debt. As we come up on the halfway point here, you choose to stay here, or you can take this a little bit deeper. My right hand and arm is going to come on the inside. Left hand is going to come somewhere on the outside of the leg or the foot. That alone might be enough for you. Or you can just rotate and open a little bit here, choosing where you want to go. Breathing and expanding. And from here, when you're ready, carefully undo the deeper twist if you took that one. And we'll come all the way back up. Great job. From here, you can kind of shake these knees out. We're going to come belly down. So we're going to make sure the back is nice and supple, as well as our hips before we come into frog. We're going to come into Sphinx. And we're only going to be in Sphinx for a couple minutes. Now, if you're dying to do seal, seal, you're welcome to come up there, but you don't have to. I am going to use my blanket today for a little bit of cushion. This is an option for some people where you, depending on what's going on back here, if you need just a little bit of a lift of the pelvis, it can make it easier. Some people don't need this at all. Some days I do, some days I don't. But if you're going to use this, you want the pelvic bone, the edge of that bone, to come right up to the edge of the blanket. Come right here. And making sure I'm in a good spot. Good. Legs are going to be about hip width apart here. And sometimes it just feels good when you come into this one to give yourself a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay. So arms are going to come forward. You're also welcome to clasp the hands together if you'd like. That's personal preference thing. But I'm going to roll my shoulders back here. And then from here, I'm going to see how easily I can lengthen just a little bit through the low body. I want my feet to be grounded. My belly button is in. And then I'm just going to effortlessly lift. My shoulders are rolled back. My belly button is in. I'm not crunching the spine. And breathing. Good. So another money affirmation. I appreciate the money I have right now. I appreciate the money I have right now. Good. So careful, I just caught myself, when you lengthen a little bit through the low body and you're keeping the tops of the feet down, try not to squeeze through the low body and stuff like that. Try to kind of relax through there just a little bit. Breathing, expanding. And you can even get a little bit of neck work in here if you would like. And I appreciate the money I have right now. Money is my friend. I am worthy of financial security and the good things that brings. I appreciate the money I have right now. Good. And then from here, just come down. Good. Make that little pillow with your hands. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Now, if this feels really good to you and you would like to stay here longer, stay here longer. Some of us, though, need to counter that extension with a little bit of flexion. So taking your hands under your shoulders, good, I'm just going to bring my knees in here. And then you can come into a full child's pose or extended child's pose or a roundy child's pose. And that's the one I'm going to do here. I'm going to do a roundy child's pose. Just feeling that nice counter movement with my back. And when you're ready, we're going to set up for frog, our peak pose today. So I'm going to undo this. I'm going to create, because I'm on a hard wood floor here, I'm going to create some cushioning for my knees. Those of you that are even on carpet might still need or want cushioning for your knees, but you might not need as much as if you are on a harder surface. And I like a couple double folded blankets here, but you can always have whatever it is that your body needs. Maybe you need 3, maybe you need 4, maybe you only need 1. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to go ahead and set timer. So this is another one where your body might need extra support, especially in the beginning. Some people that are so open and loose, you might be able to just kind of just come right in it. I've had those times myself, but I know I'm a little bit tight today, not as tight, not my tightest, but a little bit tighter than normal. So I'm going to bring this in for safety here. So I'm going to come to all fours of a tabletop position. Good. And I'm going to turn my toes out away. Good. Now from here, I'm going to slide the legs straight out from the hip. So for this one, I want my hip and knees to be in alignment. Good. From here, there's a couple options. You can stay here. This is the hardest one. Some people like to bring the feet in here, but the knees and the hips are still in alignment. So find one that feels good to you. I'm going to do this one today. I'm just going to pull this under. Good. And again, you want the hips and knees to stay in that alignment. And I'm just going to take my head this way. I'm going to breathe. So money has a positive impact on my life. I am putting my life in order and accept the good that comes into my life. I am putting my life in order and accept all the good things that come into my life. So we can get our bodies in order. We can get our house in order. Maybe we can get our workplace in order, but we also need to make sure we don't forget about getting our financial house in order. Belly button is still in here. We're about halfway. So you can take your head to the other direction. And when you start to feel like maybe you don't need the prop and support anymore, I feel a little bit more open, you can start to get rid of that. Now, I will just be right here because if I go any lower with my chest, then my pelvis is not going to be in a good alignment with respect to my back. So I'm just going to be here, but I don't need to be as high as I was. This is when I wish I had a block that I forgot to bring over here, because a block is a little bit smaller than a bolster and would have supported my chest here. Come off that. My belly button is still in. And then from here, good. If you've got a bolster or something under you, carefully slide that forward. Good. I'm going to carefully unravel my legs here and then take one leg at a time coming down. Now, this is the best way for me to come out of it. You might have a way that's a little bit better for you to come out of it, and that's okay. And I'm just going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. So the first chakra that I mentioned in a little intro of class that involves the hips, that involves money and security. It's also the grounding. As you get into these places, you should also feel more grounded. A positive attitude about money can also be very grounding. A negative attitude, causes anxiety and different things and might not be as grounding. Just bear that in mind. Good. So from here, I'm just going to bring this bolster up here. I'm going to grab it for Shavasana here in a moment. But since I'm already on the belly, I'm just going to go ahead and roll over onto my back. And so we're going to come to a supine twist here, and we're going to get into kind of the eagle leg version. So what I'm going to do is I've got my feet flat. I'm going to pick up the hips. Good. I'm going to shift my hips over to the left. I'm going to cross my left leg over the right. How much you wrap is going to depend on your body. Remember, no pain. And then I'm going to let those knees come over to my right as I look to the left. Good. And breathe. I am focused on becoming financially secure so that I forget when it is payday. I am focused on becoming financially secure so that I forget when it is payday. And again, that's easier said than done, but that just means we need to relook at things, come up with a plan, work on things, be honest about our finances. We've probably got about another minute here. I forgot to set this. Sorry about that. And then from here, good. Carefully, and if you need to undo one leg at a time, you can. We'll come back into center, and we'll undo, press into the feet, lift the hips back up. Good, get that little windshield wiper going. And when you're ready, we'll take that to the other side. So from here, pressing into your feet, lifting up your hips, shifting your hips over to the right. The right leg is going to cross over the left. Good. Legs are going to come over to the left as you look to the right. Good. Oh, readjust. There we go. Okay. I am rich in health, wealth, joy, and happiness. I am rich in health, wealth, joy, and happiness. I did that again. Sorry about that. And one of those things you get to talking about something and then you forget what you're actually supposed to do. Breathe and expand. And then from here, when you're ready, coming back in, carefully undo the legs. For this side, I need two to come back in. Good. Pressing into the feet, taking the hips back to center. Give yourself a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. Just a nice little reset. And take the knees into the chest or towards the shoulders. Finding another little reset. And when you're ready, we'll set ourselves up for Shavasana. So I love my bolster in Shavasana. Can provide a nice psoas muscle or low back relief sometimes. I'm just more relaxed when I have a prop under here. Good. You can also bring in something under your neck if you want that. Don't have to. Move this out of the way. And then once you get into place and relatively comfortable, could you wiggle around, making any adjustments to make yourself about 10% more comfortable? And then I'll leave you with this last thought. I am capable of creating my life exactly as I want it to be. I am capable of creating my life exactly as I want it to be. Slowly start to take some deep breaths here. Good. Now, once more, we're going to place one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Good. As you inhale, expand that belly. Exhale and release. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale and release. One more time. Inhale, inflate the belly. Exhale, deflate the belly. As you begin to kind of stir, you can keep your hands here. You can take the head and neck from side to side. You can invite movement of toes and fingers. Choosing stillness, or you can bring the knees into the chest, keeping upper body grounded, or maybe tucking the chin and lifting. And choosing stillness, removing any props out of the way. If you used any for your Shavasana time today, taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes, full body stretch, point and flex through those feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, rolling wrists and ankles in one direction. And then in the other. And when you're ready, bending in both knees, rolling over to your right or left side, the side that works best for you. Taking all the time that you need here. And when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat where we started our practice today. Taking a moment to notice how you feel. And if this topic was triggering for you, pause and ask yourself why. Maybe you need to ask yourself why 3 times. You might get 3 different answers. And then put plans into place to do something about it. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale and reach, reach, reach. Touching palms together. Exhale, hands and heart center. Reconnecting with yourself and your body one more time. And we'll take thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts. To the lip for good and kind words. And to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you too come up with a positive relationship with money. Namaste.